Hey everybody, welcome back to Story Talks. It's me, Tess from State Library Victoria. I'm here today with Susan, who's signing for us. Thank you, Susan. And today we'll be talking to my friend, my colleague at State Library, author Julianne Negri. Hello, Julianne. Congratulations on your book, The Secret Library of Hummingbird House. It is incredible. And before we begin, we have a question from a young reader.
Congratulations on your first book, Julianne. Can you tell us a bit about it? I heard there's time travel.
Yes, there is time travel in my book. The book is about Hattie. Hattie is 11 years old and she's really stressed because her parents have split up. And ever since then, her and her little sister Ivy have had to do a custody arrangement where they live a week with their mum and a week with their dad. And she finds it really stressful. Now, she has a favourite place that she loves. It's called Hummingbird House, a big abandoned mansion with a giant mulberry tree, perfect for climbing. And she's had some really happy family memories there, especially her birthday, her 5th birthday, when she got her favourite thing, her Sailor Moon alarm clock. And she finds out that the house and tree are going to be demolished to make way for apartments. And this tips her over the edge. She has to save the house and the tree. So late one night, under a super full moon, she goes to explore the house to see if she can find something there that can save it. And while she's exploring under this big full moon, she slips in time. She meets another girl there. Her name is Hypatia. And Hypatia is very strange and speaks in these crazy lost words. Now, between the two of them, they wonder whether they can save the house and maybe fix some other things that are going on in their lives as well.
Ooh, slips in time. Not on a banana peel, folks. Slips in time. Yes, I was particularly excited with that part of the book. So a wonderful part of the book is the actual house, Hummingbird House, a grand 100-year-old house that's enchanting and mystical. Is that based on a real house that you know?
Well, it's amazing the inspiration that's all around you because the house is just on the corner, just over there.
Whoa.
And it's not as grand as the house in my book, but I walk past it every day and there's a tower and you can't help but wonder what it was and what could happen there. And it's very run down and it shows its history and its flaking paint. And you just get a sense that something magical could happen there.
I think I know the house that you're talking about. And yes, you're right. The flaking paint is like the skin of the house itself. That is a magical house. I really loved the book's main character, Hattie. She's 11. Her emotions are a bit all over the place. Tell us a bit more about what she's going through, Julianne.
Well, Hattie is really stressed. And so because she's stressed about what's going on in her family, all the other little stresses in her life build up as well. So she goes to a school with heaps of rules and the school principal is really mean. She's known as the enforcer and she makes up rules left, right and center. There's just rules. So that is really stressful. She's also stressed because her best friend, Patrick, he thinks his parents are breaking up. And that's pretty stressful too. And then there's also her friend, or is she really a friend, Taylor Delabella, who kind of is mean but pretends to be nice to her. And that's really stressful as well. And then there's her little sister, Ivy. And her little sister, Ivy, is throwing heaps of tantrums and getting all the attention at home. So that's really stressful as well. So it's like, stress upon stress upon stress upon stress. And that's why when the house is going to be destroyed, it tips her over the edge. She can't take any more. She's got to do something.
Poor Hattie. That sounds like
Hattie.
a lot to deal with. And yes, the character of Taylor Delabella, I think everyone may have met a Taylor Delabella in their lives. So throughout the book, Hattie does some neat little tricks called body breaks. What are they and why does she do them?
Well, I don't know about you, Tess, but stress can be really physical. You can feel it in all parts of your body. And Hattie feels stress in a very physical way. So her psychologist that she sees, Peggy, has told her about these things you can do with your body that activate the muscles and stop the anxiety from flowing too much through your muscles and body. And that really works for Hattie because, like I said, she feels things very physically. And that's why she loves the monkey bars so much, because going across the monkey bars, stretching and opens up her chest and makes her feel strong and good, that she loves the monkey bars. And have I mentioned that the enforcer wants to ban the monkey bars? That's another stress. I probably should have mentioned that earlier. What stress? So I'm going to read to you a section about how Hattie describes her feelings of anxiety. Okay, this is from page 13. I'm freaking out because I'm in a hall full of kids and there's a waft of forgotten fruit and a feeling in the pit of my stomach. And I don't even know if it is anatomically correct to say the stomach has a pit. But if it does have a pit, then the pit of my stomach is deep and dark, and there's lava at the bottom, and that's hot and bubbly, and the lava steam is rising in my throat and bringing with it this feeling that I don't even have a name for, but it's like being hungry, and it's like being scared, and it's empty, 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 and lost, and then it's tight and it stings, like when Taylor Della Bella does a Chinese burn on my arm, and it's hot, but not cuddly hot, like a hot water bottle way, like when Nan gives you a hug. It's burning, prickly heat, like when Taylor Della Bella sticks thistles down my jumper.
Whoa, Hattie really does feel her emotions in a very particular way, doesn't she? And she describes them so well.
And so she does these body breaks, and some are really obvious, like lying on the floor doing the Superman pose. But some are quite sneaky, and we could all do them. Shall we all do a body break?
Yeah, I think so.
The finger pull. The hand massage.
Ooh, I do that one all the time.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Give yourself a hug.
Oh, yes, please.
And one of my favorites, the pretzel. So you cross your arms over and pull them up.
Oh, so does this just help us sort of snap out of the moment and bring us back into our bodies?
That's right. It makes you sort of concentrate on left, right, crossing over, crisscross, muscle power, and just centers you back into your body.
Oh, I feel much more centered. Thanks, Julianne.
Good.
So
do we go across the monkey bars now?
Yes, let's go. Woo, woo, woo. That actually makes me think of a really cool activity because Hattie has such a particular way of talking about her emotions. I think that would be a really fun activity for people to try. So perhaps people could describe feelings and emotions in a Hattie way and think of an emotion and come up with a creative simile. So a simile is when you describe one thing as another thing, like someone is brave as a lion. So create a simile that draws on each of the 5 senses, because that's how Hattie works, doesn't she? She really,
yeah, she feels things, smells things. So should we say what the 5 senses are?
Yes, so they are touch,
yes,
smell, taste, sound, and sight. And
yes.
maybe we could come up with creative similes for emotions, pitching in on one of those senses. Do you want to give us an example, Julianne?
Yeah, and I've written down some emotions in case you can't think of an emotion.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Which one did you choose?
I chose happiness because that's a really good one for an example because we all know that feeling, don't we?
Yeah. So how did you describe happiness in terms of touch?
So in terms of feels like, I've said happiness feels like my dog's fluffy back.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. What about happiness in terms of smell?
Happiness smells like freshly baked chocolate cake.
Oh, you're right, it so does. What about happiness and taste?
Oh, happiness, what would it taste like? Happiness tastes like Whiz Fizz sherbet.
Ooh, yes, most definitely. What does happiness sound like?
Well, there's lots of sounds that make us happy, aren't there? I love the sounds of birds and I love the sounds of nature. So I've gone with happiness sounds like a bubbling creek. I love flowing water.
Just happily bubbling along.
Mm.
And what does happiness look like?
Well, for me, happiness looks like a clear blue sky on a summer's day.
Oh, that sounds beautiful. Well, we'll put your example up for everyone to see. And now we'll put your emotions board up for everyone to see. And maybe everyone could choose one of those and do a 5 senses creative simile of full-on feelings. We'll leave that with you. And in our next video, we'll be chatting to Julianne about the secret library and lost words, which are both amazing and hilarious. We'll see you then. Bye.